Good day, everyone. I am Dr. Leonilo Capulso. I am the president of Bian Books Publication. I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Junal Bisia, the Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, for this leadership and initiative of having the Pagunhan, promoting academic growth through understanding, networking, and honing advanced research skills in the new normal. So this initiative is part of our Memorandum of Understanding with the Osmeña Colleges. And of course, through the leadership also of Dr. Maria Teresa G. D. Alban, the Vice President for Academic Affairs. For today, for the whole day, we will have our capacity building on research productivity through our very able speakers. So you will be having a journey on the whole process of research, from conceptualizing to writing and publication. So our speakers from different universities and colleges are very much willing to share their insights and experiences to all our participants. In my part, I'll be sharing to you basically the role of research productivity in the academe. But I'll be giving you actually a bonus, no, because this is what I'll be sharing to you will be hitting two birds in one stone. I'll be sharing to you my dissertation in my Doctor of Philosophy, as much as it was focused on basic education, but its implication actually encompasses the whole academia. So for today, I'll be sharing to you, okay, the role of research productivity in the academe. So once again, I am Dr. Leonilo Capulso, the CEO and President of Bian Books Publication, also the Editor-in-Chief of IJAMS, or International Journal of Advanced Multidisciplinary Studies, and also of our newly organized international organization, International Guild of Educators, Authors, and Researchers, which is also a SEC registered. So for today, I'll be sharing to you the process of doing a research. Particularly, this one was, as I mentioned, my dissertation. So magkakaroon na kayo ng idea ng buong prosesong pag-aaralan natin by showing to you basically my dissertation, which was later on converted into a book. So if you wish to avail the book, if you want to understand more, my sharing will be actually available in the book that that was also published by Bian Books Publication. You could ask Dr. Sia for those who would like to avail the copy for a discounted price. Towards the latter part, I'll also be sharing to you the services of Bian Books Publication as to book publication, journal publication, magazine publication, and other services that we offer because of this partnership. So again, allow me to share the second part of the presentation. So if you could see, so this is my dissertation, particularly on enhancing research productivity in the academe. We all know that research is very critical for growth and development, particularly if the university or the college is aiming towards accreditation, no, faculty development, because progress is very elusive without quality research. As you would realize, even the Commission on Higher Education is banking so much on research, production, and creation. Hence, research indicates competitiveness in the academe and even in other institutions, as noted by our source. So, in the Republic Act 9155, for example, the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, it identifies the very essential role of research when it drafted its basic education research agenda, higher education has this counterpart also. We have also our research agenda in the higher education. And there was certain gaps that was identified, no, particularly in the basic education, that numerous research on perceptions and motivation of public school teachers. And if you would realize later on my review of literature, I was able to read about 200 literatures on basic education, higher education on the Philippines and even outside the country. The importance of motivation and perceptions of public school teachers, both in higher ed and basic education, and was able to establish the connection. So thus, teachers' innovation and creativity shows that it really propels engagement in research. So if the teacher or the professor or the instructor is very creative, his innovation would eventually propel and actually inspire teachers to engage in research. Thus, a teacher-led research is a critical component of continuum. So if you really wish to develop, no, to progress as a teacher, as an instructor in the academy, you really have to invest so much on research. And according to several research, these are actually most of my indicators, later on my variables. These are important indicators on research productivity. Some of them I will actually discuss towards the latter part, because the end product of my dissertation, after I used the mixed method research, I was able to draft my own model, okay, Capulso's research productivity model, based on these indicators. So according to them, individual characteristics of researchers, leadership characteristics of your leaders in the school, of your dean, of your research coordinators, and the institutional characteristics, the institutional culture of research. And of course, according to Kimbo from the University of the Philippines, Kimbo and Solabo, self-efficacy, no? The motivation from teachers themselves are very important indicators of research productivity. Sa madaling salita, kapag yung teacher ay wala talagang puso sa pananaliksik, malabong mangyari yung productivity, research productivity in the academy. So when I was drafting my dissertation, my main objective was simply to develop a quality assurance framework in promoting research productivity, first in basic education, but later on, after I published the paper and eventually the book, I realized that its implications are also true in higher education. Okay? So according to Clark and Clark, research is a careful, systematic, and objective investigation conducted to obtain valid facts, draw conclusion, and establish principles regarding an identifiable problem in some fields of knowledge. So as you would later on realize, okay, and learn from our speakers that will come after me, that for research to progress, it should start with a certain problem, a certain gap. And then you would like to fill in the gap by trying to investigate, by following the process of research. So the basic education agenda or Basic Education Government Act of 2001 actually identify the importance of or the role of research. And briefly, it says that all initiative inside and outside of the school by teachers should be based on the results and findings of research. So kapag ikaw ay isang research or isang leader ng isang institution, all your programs and innovations should be a byproduct of research. So it must always be based on research. So bakit ka biglang nag-introduce ng bagong proyekto? Where did you base that idea? So napakahalaga kapag ito ay galing sa isang pag-aaral, okay? It could have been a feasibility study or maybe an action research, and then later on, you develop that into a full-blown research, okay? Now, as I mentioned, originally this is for the basic education, but as now those who are listening who are students of graduate school and teachers of basic education and higher education. Some of you maybe are familiar with this. So when you are trying to conceptualize your topic, DepEd Order 39 series of 2016 in BERA or Basic Education Research Agenda identified 4 important themes kung saan nyo pwedeng kunin yung inyong research. It could be from teaching and learning, basically for those who are teachers, child protection, human resource and development, and governance. It also identifies 3 other more: gender and development, risk reduction, disaster risk reduction and management, and inclusive education. So basically, there are 7 potential themes that you can focus on when you are doing your research. So if you could see, teaching and learning processes, that part of theme of research respond to the needs of students and teachers. Kapag ang gap that you were able to identify concerns students and teachers, therefore your theme is on teaching and learning process. If on child protection policy, that concentrates on students. On human resource and development, halimbawa, yung mga admin people, you can also do this if your concerns are teaching and non-teaching staff. No? Governance focuses on administration and stakeholder engagement. So I'll be presenting to you. I will not dwell so much on this. So these are particular topics that you could start if you would like. Although later on our speakers would help us identify potential topics based on the gaps identified. So on teaching and learning process, you could make a study on student achievement, competence, values, behaviors, career path, personal traits, affective or psychological traits, self-efficacy, special education, and the like. You could just have a screenshot of this. Okay? So child protection, you can discuss on, or you can have a research on prevalence, child protection, then it's pregnancy, bullying. Okay, now you could include cyberbullying, drugs, child labor, and gambling. For human resource and development, okay, for those in the admin side, you could make a study on teaching and non-teaching qualification and hiring, okay? Career development, okay, kaya nauso yung gender and development, di ba? Yung GAD, employees welfare, and that's already what I'm mentioning, no? The gender and development. On governance, if you are, for example, a principal, a head teacher, a subject area coordinator, you could have your topic on planning, finance, program management, transparency, and accountability evaluation, customer satisfaction. Here, you could add disaster risk reduction and management. Okay, I will not discuss so much on that. Now, look at this. If you realize before during the pandemic, no, basic education, particular DepEd, drafted learning continuity plan, okay, on how to respond to the needs of students during the pandemic. Now we are in the post-pandemic era, although, di ba, napapansin nyo ngayon, ongoing pa din. At sabi nga sa balita, medyo tumataas na naman yung cases ng COVID-19, and then may walking, what's the name of the new bagong sakit na naman na inaantay natin, no? I just forgot the term. But what I'm saying here is that the basic education and even higher education, during that time, I was also assigned as a research director of one college here in Pampanga. Each school drafted their own learning continuity plan on how to respond to the needs of students. But before that, they also started with a simple research. Ano ba yung mga needs ng estudyante? Ano yung mga needs ng mga teacher? What modality are we supposed to adapt based on these needs? So yun yung sinasabi ko, na lahat ng mga decisions, okay, and implementations na gagawin ng teacher, ng school head, ng leader should be based on research. So what's the gap? Okay, it was found out that there was a scarcity of research productivity in basic education. This is on my study now. So siguro you share the same sentiments. Lately, for those who are in the state university and colleges, because we also help teachers who are in state university to have their publication in our own journal as a peer-reviewed journal, and also in Scopus and Web of Science. They gave us actually feedback, that their paper, or the paper they publish in our journal in iJams, were actually credited, no, for the ranking and promotion, and even their publication in our international magazine, and the recognition that we give during our awarding for authors and writers. Although they are only very minimal, no, napakakunti lang yung gumagawa ng research, only to those who really would like career progression. That is why the initial study, which was eventually adopted, was an emerging model in promoting and enhancing research productivity in basic education. Kasi nga, yun yung ginawa ko dito sa pag-aaral na to. Ngayon, kung susundan nyo yung gagawin natin, makakagawa na kayo ng buong research at makikita nyo dun sa dulo yung papel na ginagampanan ng pananaliksik, the important role of research productivity in the academy. So when I was starting my paper, ito lang yung gusto kong malaman. Describe the teacher's self-assessment of research productivity in terms of the following. Now you ask yourselves, or if you are a group of teachers in your school, to those who are listening now, who I suppose that you enroll in this course, in this training, because there is some kind of scarcity, or you want to develop your skills in conducting research. But according to this study, in the paper that I conducted, that these are essential predictors of research productivity. Kung gusto nyo magkaroon ng culture of research, there must be a good individual characteristics on research, institutional characteristics, the leadership characteristics, and self-efficacy. These 4 important indicators, okay, my variables in this study were later on adapted in my own model, okay, and then determine the significant predictors. So among the 4 which are significant predictors in research productivity, which I used, which I identified using regression analysis. I will not elaborate so much on that. Describe the experiences and practices of those researchers who are actually very active, and what are those characteristics that actually propel these teachers to become more productive when it comes to research. Okay, now later on, okay, one of your speakers will be discussing different kinds of research methodology. What I used was concurrent triangulation mixed method. Kung napapansin nyo, when you speak of concurrent triangulation, medyo matrabaho lang siya. Sabi ko nga, later on you would realize na yung mga gumagamit ng research na ganitong klase, ito yung mga addict sa research. Kasi you are basically doing 3 research method, okay, or research study. You started with a quantitative study, and then you do your qualitative study, then pangbanggain mo sila, okay, yung mixed method. In my case, I use the Terrell's concurrent triangulation method, and then when I do my analysis, I use the joint display analysis. I will not elaborate so much on that, ipapakita ko na lang sa inyo. So this study was conducted to 475 randomly selected school heads and teachers. For my qualitative, I use yung talagang magagaling mga productive na teachers and leaders who have published in the journal, presented their paper using this inclusion criteria. So yung mga nakapasok dyan, lalong-lalo sa qualitative part of my study, they handle, okay, those who handle a research leadership position or designation, for example, research coordinator, okay, should have produced at least 1 duly approved full-blown research in the past 3 years, and then attended research training and capacity building, also presented paper in the division up to the international level. Yun yung ating criteria. And this was the procedure I did, no? Isa-isahin to mamaya ng speaker nyo. In here, in gathering data, particularly in the quantitative data, I ask permission from the schools divisions offices, and then I tap key persons to facilitate the online forms, because it was conducted partly online and majority are partly online. And then invitation to participants and observance of strict ethical consideration. Ibig sabihin, they are aware that any time of the duration of the study, they could just withdraw. And then they were oriented of the objective of the study. On the qualitative side, part of the study, halos ganun lang din yung ginawa natin, no? But on the unstructured interview, it was done via Zoom and Facebook. or if Facebook Messenger. On the data analysis procedure, sabi ko sa inyo, tatlong study. So in my quantitative, I do it through a questionnaire, no, to 400 plus participants or respondents. First, I collected all the responses, yung nasa online, and then I did a descriptive analysis using that 4 indicators, and then the multinomial logistic regression analysis, okay, inferential statistics. Hindi ko na ipapaliwanag, pero dumaan yun doon in order for me to get the quantitative part of my study. And then I did also the qualitative analysis, no? I used the collasis and 7 steps. So ito. First, familiarization, identification of sufficient statements, meaning formulation, theme clustering. This is the first part of theme clustering. And then writing the description, okay? Kaya mayroong mahalaga dito yung coding. Ipapaliwanag niyan mamaya ni Professor, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff and Professor Oyster. Okay, generating the fundamental basis, which is the model, and then shaping verification of the model. So the first part here on the qualitative, mayroon ka ng initial model, and then ibabangga mo doon sa iyong statistics para magkaroon ka ng mixed method analysis using joint display analysis. Ito yung maganda. Ayan, ito yung sinasabi ko. So, ang nangyari pagkatapos ko ng quantitative research na ipapaliwanag sa inyo kung paano gawin, and then I do also the qualitative research using interview, and then pinagbangga ko yung result using joint display analysis. And this was actually authored by Fitters, Curry, and Creswell in 2013. Kung paano siya gagawin, you could check on their studies, no? You could actually PM me later on or email us so that we could give you the link. So paano ginagawa yung joint display analysis, na isa lang sa mga way of analyzing mixed method data. Listening stage, the matching stage, the checking stage, and the model building. Itong number 4, okay, yan yung naging the last part where I was able to draw my own model later on. The listening stage, okay, so that means to say you have to look into, so i-compare mo muna niyan, no? Before you compare, you study first the themes in the qualitative side, and then the mean, particularly the mean in the quanti, and then you match. Okay, and then you check which are similar, which are not similar, okay, which are complementary, which are disagreeing with each other, and then out of that you are able to draw your own model. Okay, now based on these are now our results, no? So our first objective in this study, remember, describe the teacher self-assessment of research productivity in terms of the following indicators, okay? I'm sorry, individual characteristics of teachers, leadership, institutional characteristics of teachers, leadership characteristic, and self-efficacy. Dito sa 4 na indicators, okay, or na variable on research productivity. If you try to look at the graph, okay, the lighter green, okay, the light green, that's individual characteristic of teachers. The blue one, the sky blue, institutional characteristics. Leadership is the one in yellow. Dark green is self-efficacy. So just looking at the graph, alam nyo kung ano yung ka-indicator based on this part, no? So leadership is perceived to be the most important factors of research productivity. So si Doxia nakikinig, and the rest of who are leaders who are listening to us now, you would realize na napakahalaga ng papel ng isang leader, that he has that heart for research, accompanied by institutional self-efficacy and individual characteristics. So the respondents' emphasis on the leadership characteristics as a necessity for research productivity highlighted the active leadership participation and capability to fulfill critical leadership roles. Sa madaling salita, kapag ang leader ng isang eskwelahan has that heart and passion for research, like this one, no, nagkakaroon kayo ng capacity building on research, You will have your research conferences. By the way, we just actually concluded our international research conference in Thailand. No, some of you maybe are, some of our participants are also aware of that, because you could say that in our Facebook page. Some of our speakers are also our part of the technical working group. So the leader is at the forefront of school-based management, has the cascading executive abilities to influence and empower teachers to engage in research. So the science of research management exemplifies how school heads, school leaders, and teachers are empowered to research as part of their career enhancement. Let's go to this part, no? The second objective, what did we ask? To determine significant predictors of research productivity using inferential statistics. Dito lumalabas, okay, without going deeper, that leadership still plays a very vital role. The quality of leadership and management of school heads directly linked to the better performance of teachers in research. So very consistent, no? It demonstrates that no learning entity will perform successfully without the knowledgeable principal or leaders, since successful schools are the product of effective principals or leaders' practices and programs. Okay? Then, as to the third objective, describe the experiences and practices of distinguished teachers in pursuit of becoming productive researchers. Ito yung lumabas doon sa mga talagang active researchers and teachers and leaders in the academe. So ito yung mga lumabas. So I was able to draft 4 important themes, although marami yun, but this is what I would like to highlight. Finding encouragement. Ito yung unang group, no? Self-perceived strengths on conductive research. Meaning, it extracted from the rich experiences and practices of the basic education teachers, although you have to take note that most of those teachers that we interviewed are also professors from different universities, that before becoming an active and expert researchers in the field, they have downfall and success stories to tell. So kapag medyo nahihirapan kayo, kagaya sa amin, no, sa law school, I am also in the School of Law now, no, I'm pursuing Juris Doctor. Hindi siya ganun kadali, kagaya ng Doctor of Philosophy. We have our own downfall. But it always keeps us inspired to move forward, lalong-lalo na kalalabas lang ng result ng bar exam. So, just like to the newbies in the field of research, huwag kayong mabahala kapag medyo nahihirapan kayo sa simula. Eventually, you will master that, no? So, the transcending role of leaders and mentors in research. So, dito makikita yung kahalagahan ng mga mentors. That's why you have your research coordinators, okay? To assist you. So supportive and positive school leadership plays a substantive variable to nurture the climate of research productivity. What I did before, when I was still a master teacher in the Department of Education, I'm handling 21 schools, one cluster. So what I did in the schools I visited, yung mga magagaling, yung mga tenured researcher, ina-assign ko sila dun sa mga baguhang researcher to guide them. I even asked them to make a collaborative research. Napakahalaga ng role ng mentoring. Okay? Mentoring the mentors. Yun yung programa ko noon. Reduction of research experiences. Challenges and weakness in conducting research. Among these are allowing them to get through graduate studies, okay? Providing them the necessary resources and incentives they need. O lalabas to mamaya yung incentivization. Paano mo ba mabolster yung medyo hirap na sila, nagtuturo sila, gagawa pa sila ng research. Ano yung mga perks na makukuha nila kapag sila ay gumawa ng research, at lalabas doon sa model ko later on to incentivize teachers, not only monetary, although in other universities talagang may counterpart yan. Then perceive opportunities in doing research, coping mechanism and strategies in conducting research. So it was also further pictured in this study that their evaluation of becoming a productive researcher started as a beginner and eventually being motivated and supported by superiors to actively engage themselves in research. So ito yung mga lumabas sa aking qualitative study. I will not elaborate on that. So ito yung sa finding encouragement na lumalabas na it's actually because teachers have passion beyond expectation. They have their personal policy on self-efficacy. Okay lang yan kahit nahirapan tayo. Diretso lang. Professional development enhances their expertise. Itong patuloy na binibigay halimbawa ng Osmeña Colleges and other schools for that matter na pag-train, okay? Capacity building to teachers would enhance the expertise of teachers. Intrinsic motivation breaks barriers, so on and so forth. Okay, so ito yung apat na mahalagang categories that I identified later on. So the concurrent triangulation process was what actually I used in developing this model. Now, nandun na tayo sa medyo last part bago kasi magdi-discuss pa ako ng mga services ni Baby P when it comes to productivity, no, publication and everything. Triangulation process led to Capulso's research productivity model. Now, welcome to my model. Now, ito yung laman ng libro ko. Ibig sabihin, if you want to, I'm trying to check my drawer if I have here, but unfortunately I don't have one here. It's in the office. Okay, so ito yung ating model. Okay, so Capulso's research productivity model, I completed it in 2020, shows the 5 indicators. So the role of research productivity in the academe can be achieved by trying to adapt these 5 indicators, okay, based on Capulso's model. Okay, and they are, okay, nurturing intrinsic passion for research. How do you nurture, okay, the passion for research, okay, by providing them, like actually they are interrelated, no, training, support, no, getting into graduate studies. Ngayon sa graduate school, 'di ba, hindi ka na pwede makagraduate sa isang course. Hindi pa yung buong mismong graduate school. In every course, dapat mayroon ng research output. What else? Extending integral support. Napakahalaga yung supportive yung leader. Engaging in lifelong learning through research. Okay? You try to join into research groups, okay? Attending ongoing trainings, and then incentivizing research productivity equitably. That's equitably. So these 5 important indicators for me, productivity indicators according to Capulso's model will trigger research productivity in the academe. So what do we recommend for school heads and administrators? There's a need to reorient principals and leaders okay, on the following research indicators. So ito yung mga dapat nating tingnan, okay, as school leaders if we want to bolster research productivity in the academe. Okay, isa-isahin natin. Number 1, nurturing intrinsic passion for research. Anong pwedeng gagawin natin ngayon kapag nakikinig yung ating mga research coordinator, research director? School heads or research director at that should nurture the teacher's intrinsic passion by providing them avenues and opportunities to be engaged in research. So lahat ng pagkakataon, master classes, seminars, conferences. And how do you monitor? Okay, what are our mode of verification? The number of action research, applied research, completed research presented. Okay, even you could start with proposal. When I'm giving this training in other schools, normally we do this in 3 days training, for example, yung talagang intensive. Ang kanilang byproduct palagi ay research proposal. They prepare that they present that on the 3rd day, and that's what I did before when I was still in the department. Number of approved action research, number of completed action research, amount generated from external research funding. So ngayon, mapapansin nyo, there are different agencies of the government and even NGOs who are willing to finance research and innovations that actually respond, no, to the needs of the community. So this is number 1. Let's nurture intrinsic passion for research by teachers. So ito yung isa sa mga indicators. Next, second is getting into graduate studies. So let's encourage our teachers to continue to enroll in graduate school. So congratulations, Osmeña Colleges, no, for most of your students are participating now. Encouraging teachers to pursue an advanced degree as indicator of research productivity. sorry. The school heads should inspire teachers to enroll in graduate studies in schools with vital research training. Kasi nga, yun na yung ano ngayon yung in. Kapag ikaw ay nag-i-enroll sa graduate school, nandun na palagi yung nandun na palagi yung presumption na gagawa kayo ng research. Okay? And of course, yung kape. Okay? Next, another indicator, extending integral support. So, kayong mga leaders, kayong mga research coordinators, ano ba yung binibigay nyo? Aside from monetary support, okay? Do you provide teachers with access to internet? Okay, do you allow them to visit other universities and other potential support, no? So, school heads should promote and intensify support to research by providing faculty members the time and resources they need to conduct action research. And with that, you have all these indicators. Okay? And then another, engaging in lifelong learning through research. Okay, di ba? Kung may kilala ko na isa sa pinakamaraming seminars, engagement na-attend, si Dr. Jonal John, si Dr. Sia. Tanungin nyo si Dr. Sia kung gaano nakadami yung kanyang certificates. Napakahalaking bagay yon, especially those related to research. This indicator refers to how the school head promotes teachers to be engaged in research. And then these are your indicators. And then lastly, incentivizing research productivity. So what else can inspire teachers but to incentivize? In other universities, kapag ikaw ay nakapag-publish sa Scopus, for example, or Web of Science, they're giving you 100,000, 150,000. Yung iba naman, they would deload their teachers, no? Pero sinasahuran sila while they are doing their research. So research incentives are necessary for research productivity. Take note, uulitin ko, research incentives are necessary for research productivity. School leaders must be able to support teachers by designating policies for research incentive. So babalikan lang natin, no? So in other words, okay? So the important role of research productivity in the academe can be achieved only by adapting. Okay, of course, you could always add the proposed model that I developed, no? First, nurturing intrinsic passion for research. Dapat palaging masustain yung research enthusiasm ng mga teachers. Extensive or extending integral support, incentivizing your teachers, and others sometimes with a simple recognition, no? But of course, malaking bagay din yung pera kasi research is also expensive. Then engaging in lifelong learning through research, continuous learning like this, capacity building, and getting into graduate studies. So that ends our first part of our presentation. Now let's proceed to the second part. This time, I'll be presenting to you other ways, okay? I'll be presenting to you the services of BBP connected to productivity. Okay? I hope you can see it. Okay. So I'll just presenting to you some of the services of BBP connected to productivity that you can later on adapt. So kapag halimbawa nakagawa na kayo ng research, nakagawa na kayo ng abstract, you want to publish it with BBP, you just contact us. You can contact Osmeña colleges for potential discounts, particularly if you join our newly organized international organization, the iGear. Okay, so I will not elaborate, but these are the people working behind Inside Foresight, our magazine, which are most of them are the same people working in our journal. We have also our international editors and contributing writers from different countries, okay, from India, from Thailand, from Greece, from US, Colorado, no, from Indonesia, from Turkey, from Malaysia, okay, Nepal. And these are our regional coordinators. Now, dumagdag pa yan, mas dumami pa sila. Please take note that Beyond Books publication is ISO accredited from UK, London. We are also a CPD accredited provider from United Kingdom. We are registered in the Philippine National Library of the Philippines. BBP also have a branch in Colorado under the state of Colorado. We are members also of National Book Development Board, also of book o BIDAP, no? Book Publicator Association of the Philippines. IJAMS is our international journal. Okay, we are also given an international certification last year from Europe. And for the past 2 years, no, this is 2022, Beyond Books publication, particularly our international magazine, was awarded as finalist for Best Column Opinion for 2022 and also for 2023. So for those who would like to publish in our international magazine, we do this. This is a printed magazine. We do it monthly. We publish here your abstracts. Okay, we publish your research abstract, your essay, your short story, your lesson exemplar. Okay, we do publish them. For the details, you can just coordinate with our marketing coordinators and regional coordinators. So these are some of the covers, okay, international covers, local covers of our magazine. Okay, so some of them maybe are familiar to you. Okay, so this is only for the process of magazine publication. Okay, you just send us your manuscript. Also for your journal publication, our email is beyondbookspublication2018@gmail.com. If you want, kapag nakikinig kayo and gusto nyo din yung ibang services ni BBP, like you want an assistance in Scopus publication, in Web of Science publication, we can help you. Just email us using that email address. Okay, what do we publish in our magazine? Your poem, essay, feature, news article, editorial cartoon. We can also publish best practices of your school, lesson exemplar, research abstract, advertisement, so on and so forth. So, okay, you just tell us the month you want to publish, and then you follow the format indicated. Okay, we will be sending you your publication with a publication fee. Okay, our staff will just coordinate with you. For our manuscript, or your manuscript could be submitted ready for publication to our email. For our journal, you can visit our own international journal, especially kapag nakagawa na kayo ng research, no, doon sa journal natin pwede yung action research, applied research, thesis, dissertation in an MRAD format, 10 to 15 pages. And then how to publish that in international peer-reviewed journal will be explained by Dr. Gilbert Magulod, your next speaker. Okay? Okay, this is about our magazine, no? So for our magazine, our magazine actually is glossy, okay, paper. And these are some of the costs, but they are, sometimes we give discount to our partner schools, okay? So these are our details, okay, later on if you would like to pay. So I think that's all for now. And for other services of BBP, so aside from our book publication, okay, all kinds of genre, no, we publish. For your book publication, we have our international journal magazine. We call that International Journal of Advanced Multidisciplinary Studies. We also have Insight Foresight. That is our international magazine. We do it monthly. And then we have also our awarding recognition for our global leaders and educators. For our published authors, we have Outstanding Authors and Writers Excellence Award. We just did it in Thailand. And if you try to look at our website and our Facebook page, you will see their testimonies of our authors who were actually accredited, no? How our awarding ceremonies were actually accredited in their universities for ranking and promotion. So once again, thank you very much, and I hope you continue to journey with us. The rest of the speakers will be with you to discuss to you the different parts of conducting research. So once again, to Osmeña Colleges, particularly to Dr. Jonald Sia, thank you for trusting BBP, and we might be maybe scheduling a separate memorandum of understanding signing between Osmeña Colleges and Bian Books Publication. So once again, thank you very much and mabuhay.